When we talk of democracy, we mean true representation, and the parliament is the place, and therefore the people must be informed. A program that brings to you expert clarifications and teachings of parliamentary concepts and procedures. Welcome to this program.
Thank you very much.
On Parliamentary Guide, we'll teach, we explain, we clarify parliamentary concepts and terms.
Hello and thank you for joining us on the program Parliamentary Guide. I am Lami Ali.
On Parliamentary Guide, we'll teach, we explain, we clarify parliamentary concepts and terms.
On today's edition of the program, we have a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who is our guest on the program today. He is Senator Abbas, representing Adamawa Central in the Nigerian Senate. Sir, thank you for joining us on this program.
You're welcome.
Now, before you came to the Senate, you were a member of the House of Assembly in Adamawa State. You were also the Speaker. Now, share with us your experience since you came to the National Assembly, some of the differences that you've seen between the State Assembly and then the National Assembly.
Well, first of all, let me thank God for elevating me to this position, to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes, I was in the State Assembly for 8 years, and I led the State Assembly in my state for 4 years. And it's a different ball game altogether with the National Assembly. In fact, the number of members in the Legislative House to start with varies. Because in the Senate, we are 109. In the State Assembly, we were 25. So, you see, the number is smaller than in the national. And the way we do our proceedings also varies. And the way we have our committees varies also. In the National Assembly, they have a bigger number of committees, and in the state, we have a smaller number of committees based on the ministries, and we don't give committees under agencies. Mostly, it's ministries we do in the State Assembly, but in National Assembly, those committees are not even bothered with any ministry, maybe based on activity like climate change, and they have committees unlike in the State Assembly. So there are so many, but even the proceedings varies. The things that they do in the national we feel is not normal, but that's what it is in National Assembly. So most people that came from State Assembly feel that, oh, how do they do this kind of proceeding? The debate varies, the way you present motions varies. So, and we are still learning. We are new in the system. And we are a little bit, we have an appreciable number of people that came from State Assembly this time around. So we are comparing the proceedings all the time. We feel like, oh, this is not normal. This is not how we used to do in the state. But that is how the proceedings is in the National Assembly.
Now, in terms of the impacts of the resolutions that are passed at the state assemblies and then those passed at the National Assembly, which do you think are more impactful when it comes to implementation?
Well, you see, for the State Assembly, you do it, you see the result immediately because we are all together in a place. And sometimes before you even finish it, the governor will call you and say, oh, you passed this resolution. But in the national, you have to follow up. And that's why most of the assemblies, even the state, are copying it to have what we call legislative compliance, and so that they follow up to ensure that all motions have been complied with and have been taken care of before with the executive. So this is larger executive arm. Nigeria is big, and it's big, so we have to follow up. But in the state, you do motions, there's no need to follow up sometimes. Before you do it, even the state government is aware of what happens in that place. But in Nigeria, you know, things will happen. The president may not even know. Most people will not know until they are being informed that this is what is going on in such a place. So that is the major difference between when it comes to motions and bills. And for bills, you know, you realize that bills are easily killed in the National Assembly than in the state, because the state there are fewer number of people in the state. They don't, which we usually contact each other before we present. But in national, it's difficult for you to cut across everybody and then for everybody to buy you up whatever bill you want to be ready. So you realize that when it comes to second reading, most Even recently, a bill has been killed in second reading, because people are not aware of what the bill is all about. And the promoter of the bill did not, to some extent, lobby a lot of senators to ensure that his bill is being scaled. So this is a very difficult and tasky situation for you to go around and ensure that people buy into your bill. And everybody has his own ideas. People say, oh, this is a good bill, but doing it this way, we don't like it. We have to do it this way. So we are learning it. We learn it, and we are seeing the difference. And we're experiencing the difference in the National Assembly.
Yes. In the National Assembly, just like you have said, there is a lot of engagement, there is a lot of activities, and also not just between the lawmakers, but also between the lawmaking arm of government and the various ministries, departments, and agencies of government. Now, how robust or how important is that to ensuring good governance? Do you think we are achieving results by the way things are being run between the executive and the legislative arm of government?
The result is being seen on ground, but sometimes when you have overbearing executive and whatever you do, they feel you are doing the right thing. They feel you are either witch hunting or you are going against the policy of the government. But we are being made to criticize with the policy, whatever policy the government is bringing on table. But to some extent, for now, we will say that this government, both the executive and the legislative, are going hand in hand. They are going in one direction, even if they are sending voices from both opposition and the majority party in the National Assembly. But to some extent, one will say it is good as they are moving. It's good to move together to some extent, but it also has its own disadvantages probably when there are things that are negative things are going on, and they try to cover it. But for now, I think everything is going on well.
In terms of party politics, when you look at the makeup of the representation, that is party representation at the National Assembly, we have the ruling party and then we have other minority parties. When you put together, they are even almost more than, So, do you think there is imposition of opinion?
Of course there is. There is in the National Assembly, there is a position of opinion, always the majority party wants to impose the opinion of their own party, or the opinion of their own leaders than on other people. You've seen one reaction the last time when it comes to the minority leadership, where somebody was saying, no, you can't impose people on us. But I'm experiencing this thing for the first time. I knew in the State Assembly they're doing this kind of thing, but I never expected in the National Assembly the majority party will impose or find a way of bringing the leadership of the opposition party. But it's happening now in the national. So it's something that is new. It's something that is not healthy for our democracy. It's not healthy for our people, for a majority party to decide. But you don't blame majority party to some extent. We blame also our own party, the opposition party, which did not come together to ensure that, the opposition and the minority parties did not come together. So the opposition, the majority party will definitely take advantage of it, since they know that we didn't come together to present a common leadership. So they decided who becomes the leader among the minority.
Let's talk about independence of the legislature now. It's a constitutional matter, and it has been passed that state legislature should be independent, just as we have at the national. But you hear that that does not exist. It only exists on paper.
In the states?
Yes.
Well, not in the state that I left. Anyway, we are independent in the state that I left, yes, in terms of financial autonomy. So if the legislative in the state decide to become whatever they want to become for the executive, that's their business. But the Constitution has given us the right, they have given us the autonomy, and the state, in my state, we have independent legislative arm. But what the leaders or the assembly is doing is not a constitutional issue now again, because people decide the way they run their own houses. But for Adamawa State House Assembly, I know it is independent State House Assembly. They share whatever comes to the state. They have their own percentage, and it goes direct from the state. We call it State Allocation Account Committee. So after the Federal Allocation Account Committee, there will be State Allocation Account Committee, where they share the whole thing between the executive, legislative, and the judiciary. So to some extent, that's what I brought when I came and became the speaker, and it's existing, it's functioning. So whatever one decide to say, well, you cannot say that the legislative arm will be bigger than the executive arm, no. But there is autonomy in my state assembly, my former status.
Thank you very much. The program is still Parliamentary Guide, and our guest is distinguished Senator Aminu Iya Abbas, Senator representing Adamawa Central. We're going to take a short break now. We will be back.
On Parliamentary Guide, we'll teach, we explain, we clarify parliamentary concepts and terms.
All right. Thank you, our esteemed viewers, for staying with us. The program is Parliamentary Guide, and our guest remains distinguished Senator Aminu Iya Abbas, Senator representing Adamawa Central. Now, before we went on the break, we were talking about independence, an issue that has become one that has been in the front burner and that has refused to go away is the issue of autonomy for local governments. Why are we still having these issues? Why are some state assemblies refusing to assent to that bill?
Well, there's something like refusal. I'll give my experience. Sometimes people won't understand what happened. And for the last amendment of the Constitution, I blame the National Assembly because I told them when I was a speaker that you can't do this for any state and the state will accept. Well, I'll give you one instance in the amendment of the Constitution for the local autonomy, which people may not know about it. There was an amendment for financial autonomy and administrative autonomy for the local government. We say yes. We say as forum of speakers, you can take one at one time and leave the other one. If you want to make them financial autonomy, take financial autonomy first. Then later you bring another administrative autonomy. But if you want to take administrative, you take it and then later you bring financial. But you can't take the both aspect and at the same time deny State Assembly a role in running the local government, which was given to them constitutionally. So one thing that came up at that time was after the two amendments, financial autonomy and administrative autonomy, under the financial autonomy, there was a clause that was made, the constitutional clause that was made that the state government, the state assembly, will determine how much will be given for the basic education, for teachers in basic education, that means the primary and secondary school, while the federal government will also bring a little amount on the table so that the teachers will be independent. Now, this is not the problem. The problem is the state government, the state assembly will tell me how many % of the state allocation will go in that way, and how many % of local government allocation will go in that way. Then the federal government will now bring their own. But why the bond of contention was this is put under the local government autonomy. First, secondly, the National Assembly now said no law or bill that will determine, direct, organize, supervise that money that will be given to the federal government from state and local government and federal government except the law of National Assembly.
So that is the crux of the matter.
Of course, we said no. We say we can't give you our money, and then you say no law to supervise direct. And I'll give you an instance, a village in my place, even in state government, I find it difficult to supervise teachers. You realize, you see a school that has about 20, 30 teachers, you now see one teacher at a time or two. People don't want to go in a village, there's no road, no access road, nobody supervises them. You are now even moving from state to give the federal government the powers to supervise teachers or teaching, and then the payment will come from federal government. So federal government will pay, the people will not even go to school to teach. We said no, that aspect of it should be given the local government, to the local government and the state to supervise, discipline. But you say everything will have to be done by a bill and a law that is being created by the National Assembly. So what is our role in the Constitution? What's the role of the State Assembly in the Constitution?
So very soon now...
So we said remove this and present it. And then everybody will buy. Even if you're not getting the two, you get one at that time. But they insisted. Because before they passed the amendment of the Constitution, they usually call us as speakers to come and look at the bill and look at it. Now we advise, I particularly advise them. But they refuse. And that's killed the whole thing.
Yeah, it didn't pass.
Yeah.
So very soon the 10th National Assembly will go into the constitution review exercise. Yes. What will be your advice? And more so that you are going to be a major player in the whole process.
I'm a member of the Constitution Amendment Committee of the Senate, yes. I was made a member and I will bring my experience to bear. And I will equally help in lobbying the speakers to ensure that if there is something like a local autonomy, it will sell through. We won't get every 100% at first time. And even the State Assembly autonomy bill, it went through the Constitution Amendment 3 to 4 times. In fact, the first time, Even the members of the State Assembly, then I wasn't a member, defeated it themselves. Because the executive have brainwashed them to say that, look, this is not good for you. If you have given this, we won't give you any memo, we won't sign anything for you. You just be on your own. But yes, before we did the other ones, I told my members, look, we have to be independent. Even if you are not going to benefit from it, let others benefit from it when they come. And the President's Assembly is benefiting from enjoying it, which we sacrifice.
So the local government's administration, both of us will agree, I mean, it is not a new story. Yeah. Everyone knows that it is not in a shape which anyone will be proud of.
Yes.
So what is the way forward? How do we build our local government system through a very robust and enduring legislative process?
The assembly, state assemblies will also be involved, get their views, because the constitution cannot be amended without going to the state. So once the states have not bought into the idea, then it's going to fail. And that's what we told them. Before you make the amendment, before you do final amendment in National Assembly, sit with them, get their view, ask them, if you do this, is it okay for you? You don't just ask other stakeholders and then excluding them. They are the major stakeholders after National Assembly. The state are major stakeholders. And whether we like it or not, the state governors have some controls on what comes to the state, what is passed in the State Assembly, whether impliedly or not. We know that they will lobby the members. And these are the members, they are working together for years. So I think we need to carry them together, apart from the National Assembly and the presidency. We need to involve the state governors and the state assemblies. Then we involve all other stakeholders, show them the advantage and disadvantage of some issues that are coming up this. We will not get every 100%, but let's start from somewhere. That's my own ideology in this local autonomy. We'll start small. We won't get everything together. As I said, the State Assembly bill, the first autonomy, was not even explained in the Constitution. And that's why the government said, no, we can't implement it. But now the last amendment is explicit on it, and then it shows everything that how it will be done. Still, some states are insisting that they cannot implement it.
Because of the lacuna.
Yes. So we need to get this in small. Let's get it small. We won't get everything at one time. That's my advice, and that's the role I will play when it comes to the constitutional amendment for the local autonomy.
All right. Now, on a final note, because we're rounding up now, what would you want to see happening in the National Assembly? That is, some of the legacies that you think are good for building our democracy that you have learned at the state assemblies, which you think, when adopted at the national, will be for the good of Nigerians?
Well, you see, in the state assembly, there is a minimum kind of division among the minority and the majority party. We all work towards the state. During my tenure, we all work for Adamawa State. So everybody is looking at Adamawa State and that is why the last 4 years was one of the turning point of the state for whoever goes to the state. Whatever we are looking at, we are not looking at ourselves. We are looking at the state government. No, we are looking at the state itself. Let us push the state up so that people will start hearing about Adamawa State again. So what I want the National Assembly to do is, let's look at Nigeria as our constituency. We should look at our own constituency as our constituency. We look at Nigeria because the way it is now, everybody is looking at his own constituency alone. When you look at the budget, you see that people look at the constituency alone. So everybody has opportunity to push everything to their own constituency. No, we can't develop that way. We look at Nigeria at large as our own country. So if you want to develop it, we develop Nigeria. We are not developing one part of Nigeria. That's what I feel that is lacking in the National Assembly. Let's have Nigeria as our constituency. Let's do everything for Nigeria. So we won't be talking, this one is talking for A, the other person will be talking for B. No. If you are bringing issues that affect people in the southeast, we all go into that and affect, because they are Nigerians. So if you are bringing issues that affect people in the northwest, we all go move for that, and we bring genuine and responsible answers to those solutions, so that people, to those questions, so that people will now have the feeling that they are Nigerians. So that is what I look forward to, that after the 10th Assembly, I will be proud to say that, look, we have done for Nigeria what we are supposed to do for the little time we are given opportunity to do.
Thank you very much, and we wish you success, and we hope that this your wish will come true.
Thank you very much. You are almost welcome.
It's been an interesting 25 minutes with distinguished Senator Aminu Abbas, Senator representing Adamawa Central. And this is where we come to the end of this edition of Parliamentary Guide. On behalf of all those that made it a success, I'm Lami Ali, thanking you for your time and asking you to join us another time as we bring another personality to feature on the program.
On Parliamentary Guide, we'll teach, we explain, we clarify parliamentary concepts and terms.
Not violence or oversight over the executive.